sponsor on Livin Large Larry Live is brought to you by Keystone Mortgage in their new location, 248-7124. And you can check them out and visit them at 2442 First Avenue North. They're right across from the pub station in downtown Billings. Keystone Mortgage Company. You aren't just a number, you're our number one priority. Keystone Mortgage.
Win a riding lawnmower from Sears, a $5,000 roofing package from Moonlight Construction, or rain gutter package from All Star Rain Gutters. It's where you want to be, and it's free. So, where to?
And that spring home improvement show is this weekend. Begins on Friday at Metro Park. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the home improvement show. Let's all go.
Livin Large Larry Live from the Red Line Computer Studios next to the Dollar Tree off of King Avenue West in Billings, Montana. This is Livin Large Larry Live.
And thank you for joining us again from Billings, Montana, the Red Line Computer Studios in West Billings for our worldwide internet radio show at livinlargelarry.com. On YouTube this morning, there's just an audio player there if you just want to listen to audio and not look at us while we do the live portion of the show. And also, please do download the free TuneIn mobile app on your smartphones. TuneIn, TuneIn mobile app. All at livinlargelarry.com. All kinds of blinds in Billings. All kinds of blinds, mt.com. Quick temperature check. It is windy, breezy this morning, but not too bad. 44. And a complete forecast for you. Looks pretty good. The rest of the week into the weekend, actually. It being midweek, I jumped ahead to the weekend, and I'll share that good news with you in a second. Our Billings area forecast at livinlargelarry.com, courtesy of Jade Furman of Landmark Realtors at 1925 Grand Avenue, Montana, property.com. Jade is a trustworthy agent who's always put their clients' needs and interests first. She has a long-time reputation for ethical business practices and attention to detail. So about 58 today and a few clouds. And nice day, though. Thursday as well, partly sunny near 61. Friday, 60 and sunny. Then the weekend I bragged about, getting close to that 70 mark. At least the mid-60s, possibly, for Saturday and Sunday. The Billings area forecast at livinlargelarry.com from Broughton Construction and Home Repair. The Broughton family offering 30 years of experience in concrete and all facets of remodeling and roofing and siding. They're trustworthy and knowledgeable. 30 years experience. Count on it. Broughton Construction and Home Repair. BRAATON. And we'll have the Billings Morning News and more of the latest news around Billings and surrounding communities in Billings, Montana from the Red Line Computer Studios at livinlargelarry.com. That's coming up for you. Best $10 haircut ever. $10 cut, 10 minutes out. Jim and Austin's Barbershop, 2225 Main in the Heights. They're trained barbers, and they offer more services as well, including straight razor shaves as well. Jim and Austin's Barbershop, 2225 Main in the Heights. Sponsors of the 2016 Billings Wolves. It is remodeling time in your home or your office. And the windows are the most aesthetically pleasing area people look. The most important part of your home are your windows and your window treatments. All kinds of blinds in Billings, all kinds of blinds, mt.com with cellular blinds. The woven woods are available. Mini blinds of all sizes and styles and models. Talk to Bobby Gray at All Kinds of Blinds and ask about their security window film as well. All kinds of blinds and Billings. All kinds of blinds, mt.com. The promise to you from Brown's Automotive, with over 60 years of being in Billings, is communication and trust and experience for all facets of automotive specialists. Tune-ups, tire and alignments, transmission specialists, complete auto repairs. It is their family-owned business, Brown's Automotive at Broadwater. Brown's West Auto Service, corner of Rosebud and 20th. A couple of locations downtown. Automatic Transmission Company through Brown's at 13th Street North and 1st Avenue North. And Brown's Rebuild Center as well, downtown at 18th Street North and 2nd Avenue North. For over 60 years, rely on Brown's Automotive. BrownsAutoBillings.com.
Call or email your Livin Large Larry Live show ideas. Larry at livinlargelarry.com and 1-888-858-1408.
Well, it feels like spring, looks like spring in Billings, Montana, here from the Redline Computer Studios in West Billings. LivinLargeLarry.com. There's no G on Livin. LivinLargeLarry.com. Yeah, I see some of the ballparks, the Little League fields are being worked on, getting set for the kids to play some baseball. It was the first day of spring training officially for Major League Baseball yesterday. Here we are on March 2nd, 2016 in LivinLargeLarry.com. All kinds of Blinds and Billings temperature check. Breezy 44 now. The Billings Morning News and more gathered from KTVQ.com, Color8.com, and the Billings Gazette. The man accused of kidnapping a 4-year-old girl from a Wolf Point playground was charged in tribal court on Tuesday. John Liba, 20, was charged in Fort Peck Tribal Court with felony kidnapping, aggravated sexual assault of a child, and attempted murder. Court documents state Liba allegedly abducted the girl from a very popular park on Friday night, shortly after 9 p.m. He then sexually assaulted her in the vicinity of Wolf Point on the Fort Peck Indian Reservation. Liba also attempted to kill the child by strangulation, according to the charges filed by tribal prosecutor Adrian Weinberger. It was unclear Tuesday from charging documents if Liba knew the girl. He's being held without bond as of Tuesday. And now the FBI is also investigating the case, and federal charges are expected. Billings Flying Service will begin to expand west of Logan International Airport after the Yellowstone County Commissioners approved the zone change on Tuesday. Roughly 45 minutes into the Commissioners' meeting, a packed crowd listened to Commissioner John Ostlund read an advisory letter noting his involvement with the Billings Flying Service. Despite having a small plane sitting at a flying service hangar, Ostlund acknowledged his duty to listen to proponents and opponents who lined up to speak. His vote would prove to be key. Unlike the previous February 8th Zoning Commission meeting, Chairman Bill Kennedy urged the crowd to keep their comments brief, giving both sides 30 minutes of testimony. Attorney Tyler Duggar, Billings Flying Service, provided 22 minutes of testimony, making the case for the company's request that would still offer a buffer zone of land from Highway 3. Meanwhile, the Rimrock Neighborhoods Task Force disputed the proposed change, citing issues with future industrial zone plans. After nearly 3.5 hours of testimony and comment from the public and commissioners, a 2-to-1 vote was cast in favor of the zone change by the airport. You don't have to travel far to see mermaids in Big Sky Country in Montana. That's because the iconic Sip and Dip Lounge in Great Falls has the characters swimming 6 days a week. On Tuesday nights, they introduced mermen. Mermen are making a return at the Sip and Dip Lounge. The iconic bar, known for its large tank with mermaids entertaining guests, has been around for more than 50 years. Last time mermen were in the tank was more than a decade ago. For information about the men as mermen and about Sip and Dip Lounge, there's a Facebook link at Color8.com. And that's the Billings Morning News on Livin Large Larry Live and LivinLargeLarry.com. Our consistent mild weather pattern is continuing in Billings. Our Billings area forecast at LivinLargeLarry.com. It is brought to you by Broughton Construction and Home Repair, offering 30 years of experience in all forms of remodeling, whether it's siding or concrete, roofing. There's no job too big or too small, and reasonable pricing for home maintenance and repairs. Call on Broughton Construction and Home Repair. Easy search on Facebook, Braton. With a high around 58, a few clouds this afternoon, and near 60 and partly sunny for Thursday. Sunny on Friday, 59. And our weekend looks nice. Might be a chance to get some early spring cleaning done, with temperatures on Saturday and Sunday at least into the mid-60s. Billings area forecast at LivinLargeLarry.com. A courtesy of Jade Furman of Landmark Realtors. She's at 1925 Grand Avenue, and she'll provide a market analysis to you if you want to list and sell your home, including a specialized consulting in current trends and colors and styles, modifications, as well as the value of staging your property, which may help increase the profitability on the sale of your home as well. Jade Furman of Landmark Realtors. Log on to montanaproperty.com. And coming up in a few minutes, we'll have a recorded playback of a recorded interview we had with the crew at Keystone Mortgage on mortgages and what the real estate market looks like as we are into March now, and also refinancing options. We'll talk with Keystone Mortgage coming up LivinLargeLarry.com. All kinds of blinds and Billings. Temperature check breezy 44 this morning. All kinds of blinds MT.com.
I'm just so happy my father had a chance to see his kids before he passed. I just want to say thank you.
When her father fell ill, the American Red Cross was able to help get Veronica's brother home from the Navy to speak to his father one last time. It's thanks to your donations that we can connect military families when they need it most. Please donate today at redcross.org.
Cindy Graff and her crew at N2 Cryotherapy, 805 24th Street West, suite number 4, is excited about the evolution and the growth of N2 Cryotherapy. They've been in Billings, N2 Cryotherapy, since last July, and business is growing. And as of right now, she's targeting athletes, as in high school athletes or college or professional, for the wellness therapy out called cryotherapy. You can learn a little bit more about cryotherapy at n2cryo.com. N2 Cryotherapy, the only one in this region. N2 Cryotherapy, 805 24th Street West, suite number 4. There has been an IRS data breach, and Lisa Woods of Woods Accounting will explain all of that to you, as well as over 50 new laws that are just out for the 2016 tax season at Woods Accounting. 1211 Grand Avenue, suite number 4. Filing dates. Do you know what is due when? Tax returns and payroll taxes, estimated taxes. Lisa Woods of Woods Accounting. She does all of that and more. WoodsAccounting.com.
When I was little, I didn't talk for a long time. I liked things to always be the same. Anything new or different would scare and upset me. I was very sensitive to sounds. It was almost like I had bigger eyes and ears than everyone else. So I built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. I didn't like looking people in the eye. It made me feel uncomfortable. I'd throw big tantrums over little things, like when my socks didn't match. Sometimes I'd do the same things over and over, until one day I found out I had autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I learned how to live with it better.
You can see signs of autism in children as young as 18 months. Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
There is a group of ladies, Carrie, Jamie Sue, and Christina KK, that have your back at Full Service Salon and Spa. It's called Quick Spa. Quick Spa is at 2348 Grand Avenue for spray tans or colon hydrotherapy, permanent makeup. We mentioned it's Full Service Salon and Spa, and they'll take care of your hair needs as well. Deep tissue massage, hot stone, body wraps. Jamie Sue has your nails with nail enhancements, gel polish, nail art, all at Quick Spa, quick-spa.com.
Attend the Home Improvement Show March 4, 5, 6 at Metro Park, boasting 650 exhibits and over $30,000 in prizes. It's Montana's biggest and best. It's where you want to be, and it's free. So, where to?
Spring Home Improvement Show is this weekend. Friday starts at noon. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Metro Park in Billings. From the Redline Computer Studios. LivinLargeLarry.com on YouTube.
Livin' Large Larry Live.
Had a visit with the Keystone Mortgage crew a week and a half ago or so. This is a recorded interview, a replay, important information about real estate, mortgages, refinancing. Here this morning from the Redline Computer Studios across from Goodwill in Billings, Montana. We're happy that you've joined us worldwide on the show, LivinLargeLarry.com. All right, Angel Viren and Laura, that is right, Viren?
Yes.
Angel
yes.
Viren and Laura Shaka. Love that last name, from Keystone Mortgage. Our replay sponsor of our show here, Livin' Large Larry Live, Keystone Mortgage. First of all, let's talk about the new digs across from the pub station. Downtown
It's
Billings.
amazing.
Yeah.
We are all set up in our new building. All of our remodeling is finally all done. Just got a little touch-up paint and stuff like that, but it's so nice in there, and we're all spread out and not sitting on top of each other anymore, and hired out a few more employees to help our clients, and it's been really
compared
good.
to the old Keystone Mortgage location, what's the size difference? I mean, I know, but the listeners might not know.
We went from 800 square feet to 4,500 square feet.
Well worth it.
So very, very much. And we were able to, we had some employees like Laura who was working from home, and now she's got her own office and all that good stuff, and was able to hire on a few more employees to just keep the process for our clients going really smooth.
I had a friend of mine on Facebook yesterday say that he lives in Billings, but he has a home in Florida. Maybe you saw it on Facebook. I don't know. I think I tagged you guys in it. He was asking to look into maybe refinancing his home in Florida. If you don't do that through Keystone Mortgage because you're in Montana, is there recommendations that you can make to customers that call for things like that?
Yeah, we are hooked up with brokers all around the world.
Okay.
I actually go several times a year to different conferences and things like that, and so I really feel out different brokers, different lenders from all across the nation. And so even if we're not licensed, we actually licensed in quite a few states, but if we're not licensed in that particular state, then we can find a broker for you or a lender down there for you that's really reputable to work with.
Do me a favor. His name is, he's with the Marines here in town, in Billings. Milton, just look up Milton Candelaria on my Facebook page. I've tagged you guys in it. If you can lend a hand, that'd be great. All right. Keystone Mortgage, Angel Viren with us, and Laura Shaka. Laura came in as, is it marketing manager, essentially?
Yep.
Laura, and how long ago, and how's it changed to Keystone Mortgage?
Oh gosh, I started last May, and we have blown up. People just have finally found the value in Keystone Mortgage and as a mortgage broker themselves. We don't have origination fees, underwriting fees, application fees, any of that other stuff. And our loan officers, I would have to say, are probably the best in the area. They know what they're doing. We can offer everything where people aren't stressing out trying to fit into packages. We tailor it for them.
You took a break, Laura, actually, from the working world. Did Angel talk you into coming back to work? Or
Yes,
what?
she did.
It was a good thing, though, right?
It was. I love it. I really do. I missed working. I loved being home. I'm not going to lie.
Sure.
Who doesn't love being a stay-at-home
Yeah,
mom?
right.
But no, she did talk me into it, and I feel like it was the best time to come back, and I love the company I work for.
All her littles are in school and stuff now, too.
Yes,
So.
finally.
So with the marketing approach to Keystone Mortgage, a new building for you guys, downtown Billings, great location, by the way.
Thank
And I
you.
stopped by a couple of weeks ago. Easy parking. We during our meeting for advertising, we talked about the parking deal. Actually, it's pretty convenient around
There's
that area.
4 spots right
Yeah.
in the front for our clients, and we actually have quarters right on our front desk. So if people need to plug their meter, they can come in, grab some quarters.
Wow.
We make it super easy. Yeah.
Nobody does that.
Yeah.
Leaves quarters on one's desk to help with parking.
Right.
And you won't
So-
send us a bill for that, though.
No,
No.
no.
Like that.
And we tell you when you call for your appointment and everything is, if you need some quarters, come on in. We'll give you some to plug your meter with. So
So with the inception of Laura Shaka on staff here, how has Keystone Mortgage changed their image or personality?
my forte is obviously the lending. I've been doing it for so long. I started as just a processor back in the day, and I was actually, where I'm different than a lot of other loan officers, I was actually an underwriter at one point in time. So I was the person behind the desk, behind the scenes, approving those loans and putting those loans together. Now I'm on the front side of it, actually structuring those deals, and I know what works, I know what doesn't. I know how to argue with underwriters. I know the tricks and the tips and all that kind of stuff to actually really make a file. Even, I've had people say, I should have came to you first. I went to 5 other lenders and everybody told me it wasn't possible. And I'm like, no, it's possible. We'll do this, we'll put you here. Boom, you're a homeowner. And so that's what I like to do. And I like to stay on top of the guidelines and all that stuff. And so bringing Laura into the fold was really a key thing because we are a really, really great brokerage. We really put a lot of packages together. We look for niche programs. We look for things to help everybody. But getting the word out about that is a whole nother thing. And when you're busy helping clients and trying to stay on top of making sure your clients are 100% taken care of, the marketing falls to the wayside. So that's where I actually did Laura's mortgage. That's how I met her. And she had been to a couple other banks, and they were saying because of her husband's work history, he used to be a firefighter, then he was in the oil field, blah, 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 blah. They couldn't do anything for her.
And our other house. We own another home.
Right.
They owned another home in Arizona and on and on. And she got referred to me by her real estate agent. Just try her and see if she can do anything. And boom, homeowner.
Well, Laura
So-
recommended you to Carrie and I as well, and we're gathering some paperwork, and we're looking into refinancing. Just to
Yeah.
bring that mortgage payment down a little bit, because we have some expenses with the new business and all that, and we
Right.
can make it work. And so we're going to be going through Keystone
Rates
as well.
are historically low
Let's
right
talk
now.
about rates, actually. What should we know? Give us some tips on what to look for and what we don't know.
Well, rates are, not everything is completely about rates. Rates are based on your credit score, your purpose of refinance, your loan amount, all of that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of things that go into rates. So just like quoting a rate isn't necessarily possible, because it used to be, straight across the board, this is what the FHA rate is, this is what conventional
Sure.
rate is, this is what VA rate is. Now there's so many factors that goes into rate that it would be doing you an injustice just say, oh yeah, FHA is at 3.25 today, because it's not, and that might not be what your particular rate is if you're wanting to do a cash out, and you might have a little lower credit score or something like that. So there's a lot of factors that go into a rate. So people who just throw a rate out there aren't telling you the full meal deal. They're not telling you what your rate is for your story, and you could be getting a better rate than what they even said, because your credit score could be higher than what they're quoting.
Right.
Your loan amount might be different. Your purpose might be different. There's all of those kinds of things that go into it. So quoting a rate is a little bit more difficult than what people think. What I can tell you is that bonds are up to 104.59 today, which when the bonds are high...
So we don't know that as a layperson.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. When bonds are high, rates are low. And all of our loan officers that actually work in our office get bond updates directly to their phone every hour on the hour. That's just the way it goes. We have our fingers on the pulse of the market. So it's not just... We're not just sitting there waiting for somebody else to tell us something. We are actively involved, reading the reports. We know what reports are coming out. We know what's going to be affecting the bonds, and we get those alerts right to our phone. We get lock alerts, we get float alerts, and we advise our clients. So many of my clients come in and I'll be like, we need to lock today because the forecast for the next 2 weeks is pretty ugly. Okay, let's lock in that rate. A lot of times I'll say, let's float, because it kind of goes on a bell curve, and if we're at the bottom of that bell curve, I'm expecting rates to come back up, or bonds to come back up, which means rates are going to go back
Right.
down, and I want to try to get you the lowest rate as I possibly can.
You know,
So-
what's intriguing about Keystone Mortgage in Billings is just that it's in Billings. It's I champion local business, and you're truly local. Keystone
We are
Mortgage.
locally owned. Yeah, Angel is the owner. We are not under an umbrella company. We are not a franchise. We are locally owned and operated.
Yeah, and so much of the stuff that we do, we have what we're rolling out as our new kind of coin phrase that we're calling it is Keystone Cares. We do so much in the community as far as sponsoring everything from sponsoring baseball teams on up. Our clients call us and say, hey, my kid needs, to be sponsored for his baseball team. Sure, send over a sponsorship. We're always helping clients with their children.
Community involvement.
And
it
we're-
works.
Well, the community made us who we are, so
Yeah,
we're going to
all
give
the way
back
up
to that
to-
same community.
Yeah, helping with schools and giving back to schools and giving back to any kind of community program that we can. We really try to. Laura tried to get us to donate blood, but I wasn't up for tapping my vein.
I don't know why they won't. There is a huge need for blood, and they won't do
There
it.
is- and plasma. If Laura goes and gets the needle and gives blood,
Oh, but I can't. That's why.
well, if somebody on your staff does at Keystone Mortgage, then Angel, all you have to do is go and watch and support and feed them orange juice.
Well, I told him, I said, well, we'll come out, we'll
There you
provide
go.
orange juice and
Sure.
cookies or whatever.
Yeah.
No, they won't do it. She told me that if I ever needed another transfusion again down the road, that she would gladly give me hers, but she won't go do it.
My veins are really
She's
bad.
afraid of the needle.
That
She's
will come,
afraid of the
that
needle.
will come down the road. All right. So, is there a certain time of year? Here we are in the dead of winter. My, is it cold in Billings?
Right.
Oh,
Right.
Lord.
I
But
almost wore sandals again today.
February's been absolutely amazing in Billings, Montana. This is a worldwide show. People in Michigan are going, "God, we're like minus 20, but
Right. Well, and usually in January and February we are like minus 20 to minus
I know.
40. It's just been so amazingly beautiful this summer or this winter.
this winter.
Yeah.
I
The
know,
summery
summer's
winter,
on your mind.
right?
But I was going to ask you, is there a certain time of season or year that Keystone Mortgage is, or home loans, period, are more pertinent to consumers?
Traditionally,
Yeah.
or this year?
Well, okay, traditionally.
Well, traditionally,
And then this
it's-
year.
Well, usually it's spring and summer. People don't like to move too much in the wintertime,
Mm-hmm.
so the market's kind of slow down a little bit. But gosh, November and December we were busier than years past over record. Just it's
Yeah.
been a great
Plus,
year.
you were moving and stuff, too.
Yeah, that was
plus we
crazy.
moved, yeah.
That was a
Yeah,
little
it's been
nuts.
great. But yeah, traditionally it's spring and summer, but right now we really have a seller's market here in Billings, just because there's not enough inventory and there's a lot of people out there buying right now. Multiple offer situations, backup offer situation, which is why being pre-approved by a good, solid lender is so important. Sellers really don't like out-of-state lenders. They just, if you've got a, they just traditionally fall apart more. They don't understand our market. They can't get appraisers to work for them.
Sure.
The list goes on. And if you're pre-approved by a good, solid lender in town, that looks a lot better to a seller than if you're not. So, and having a pre-approval, if you have a 3 offers that come in, one of them, has their money lined up, boom, you're already ahead of the other 2 in your offer.
Angel Vira and Laura Shocker with the Keystone Mortgage in Billings. What is Keystone Mortgage's service area, if I can phrase it that way?
We service the whole state of Montana.
Are you licensed to serve the state of Montana?
Yeah,
Is that-
we're licensed to serve the entire state of Montana and Washington. And a little teaser, I'm bringing on Wyoming.
Yay!
Oh, congratulations.
So, yeah.
That's huge, though.
We
Yeah.
are excited. We are taking Mobile Broker down into Wyoming. We are
'Cause
so
it,
excited.
It leads me into this. It kind of goes back to my Marine friend from Florida who wants some refinancing in his Florida home. Billings and the state of Montana actually is at a growth spurt for new people coming in from all over the country and other countries or other cities and states in other countries as well. What if somebody had a job transfer to Billings or any part of Montana and they're in Michigan or California? Could they
We'll
call
call
Keystone
Keystone.
Mortgage?
Absolutely.
They absolutely can. And we're really super tech friendly. Most of our staff are pretty young, so we love tech. We are always on our phones. We have
Social media and all that.
social
yep.
media. We have all of that stuff. We make it so easy. We have e-docs. You can check your a new feature that's coming to our website is being able to check your loan status at all
Okay.
times. We just make it really, really super easy. We're opening up client portals so they can just really easily submit stuff to us and just have a really smooth transaction no matter where they're at.
Who on your staff, I know you probably can't name everybody, but who has hung with you for all these years at Keystone? Is Belinda around?
Belinda.
Belinda started with me. First of all, I started in a teeny tiny little 200 square foot office.
That's like a closet.
And even before that, I started at coffee shops. But Belinda's been with me, but actually Carrie, I just brought Carrie back on with me, and she started back in the day. She was my assistant back in the day. And so I have a really, really, really great employee following.
Good. Loyal and all that.
Very, very loyal. Nicole's been with me for a long time, and Angela's been with me for almost a year, and Lee is my newest one. But they all joke around that they're all lifers. So
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a really great working community relationship within our office, which is, I think, very important. There's no job too big, too small for any of us. We all pitch in. When I was shorthanded, I had Laura stacking files.
Yeah.
That was fun.
She was. I
She'll
was like,
do anything.
I said, I know you don't know anything, but here's the checklist. We stack these files so I can get them pushed through. And she was like, yeah.
When I took a tour of Keystone Mortgage, the new location across from the pub station downtown Billings, I noticed that your office space is huge for one. And back in the back is, you've leased it out to a good friend of mine, Serena.
Oh,
Talk a bit
Serena's
about her, yeah.
awesome. Yeah,
Known
she
her for
just
years.
got her brokerage
I
too.
know, congratulations. I saw that on
So
Facebook.
yeah, congratulations, Serena. Yeah, we are going to be renting out. So we'll have actually a real estate office on the other side of us, and
But isn't that key to the whole industry that you're in?
we work Hand in hand with real estate agents,
Good,
yes.
okay.
We have a lot of really good real estate agents and relationships with them, and we're expanding on those as well right now too.
That's the other thing too is, a lot of people are looking for real estate agents, and honestly, your lenders know who the good agents are from the not so great agents, because we're the ones that
That's
work
good
with
to
them.
know, I think.
We're the ones that work with
Sure.
all the agents all the time. We know, and we'll see things and we'll go, that's not cool.
Well, let me throw a name out.
You can't do
Mayor Tom
that.
Handel's my agent.
He's great.
Okay, I'm glad you
he's
said that.
great. Yes, he's great. He's one of the good ones. So honestly, if you're looking, and you could hire 500 realtors, but if you don't have the money to buy the
Right.
house, there's no sense in having a realtor. So coming and getting pre-approved truly is your first step to homeownership.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
to anything else. Even if you're selling a house and buying a new one, coming to get pre-approved to be able to go buy that new one and know exactly what you need to do to be in the best situation and not be stressed throughout
Sure.
that whole entire time. We had a client reach out to us recently, and they're not a client of ours, they're a client of somewhere else, and they put an offer on a house. They haven't sold their other house. Their other house isn't going on the market. Now they're like searching for a bridge loan, and they're searching for this and they're searching for that, and they're just super stressed out, and it's just like, it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that way. If you come in, talk to one of our professionals, get all your ducks in a row, it can be a completely smooth, seamless transaction.
See, that's why I don't do my own taxes. I mean, God made accountants and
Right.
God made home loan people like Keystone Mortgage. I
Right.
don't want that stress and anxiety. I do radio, for heaven's sake. I'm not
Right.
a knower of all. Only Rush Limbaugh is a knower of all. Laura Shaka, when you came in this morning, you mentioned, can we talk about the home improvement show coming up March 4, 5, and 6? Yes, we can.
Oh,
Go
I'm
for it.
so excited.
Yes.
Okay, so this year at the Home Improvement Show, we are going to be able to do pre-qualifications on the spot. We are bringing Mobile Broker with us to the Home Improvement Show. So you need to do your refinance on your house because you found that the windows that you see over on the other corner are looking fabulous, or the
Yeah.
hot tub. Yep, it's all about it.
Well, Laura and I were meeting at City Brew, talking about advertising a couple of months ago, and you brought up Mobile Broker, and the example you used was you could go to Red Lodge and it'd be safe and secure.
Yes, we
So-
launched primarily in Red Lodge. They are, they welcomed us right away. They have helped us push it forward, and we have secure system with our
Okay, that's
computer.
important.
Exactly. So we don't have to borrow. We're not using anybody else's internet. Our internet is locked and secured. Our
Okay.
computers are locked and secured. We can do everything without paper, so that we're not losing stuff and shuffling around,
Sure.
and someone's not going to come and steal your file from us while we're there.
Well, and everything that we do is we are held to very high regulations as far as client information. Everything we do is worked off of a not only a paper system, but a paperless system. So, in our paperless system, actually we work off remote servers that aren't even in the state of Montana. So, and they're triple firewall protected and blah 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 blah. So we are held to super high regulations as far as client safety and protection of their information and all of that kind of stuff, and we take that pretty seriously. Everything is double locked up at night. We really try to make sure our clients' information is 110% protected at all times. Even on our mobile broker, we have everything all secure. We bring all of our stuff so that we're not, using anybody else's internet
machine.
or
Right,
fax
yeah.
machines or anything
Good.
like that personal data could be saved in. We bring it all to you. We set it up. It's actually pretty seamless, and we can take your application right in the privacy of your own home if that's what you prefer.
Well, the Home Improvement Show coming up March 4th, 5th, and 6th. It's the biggest event of the spring and summer, really.
Oh, it's
Right.
awesome. And
So you
we've
chose a
been in
good
the
one.
show for
Years.
15 years.
But the mobile broker and what you're bringing to the Home Improvement Show this year is
First
something
time.
new.
Brand new.
It'll
Brand
be fun.
new.
Good.
Mhm.
That'll be exciting. So
Yeah.
people look forward to that. Keystone Mortgage, new location, downtown Billings, across from the pub station. Wrap it up with some contact details, websites, social media.
Oh, you can
Phone
find us
numbers.
on our website is www.keystonehomeloans.com. Our phone number is 406-248-7124, and always find us on Facebook at Keystone Mortgage Company.
Boy, you hired the right girl for marketing.
Right?
I thought I would stumble her a little bit by
She
missing the
does a
phone number.
great job.
Yeah.
She does a great
You
job.
didn't ask me about loan packages, so we're okay.
So, Laura, what about loan packages at Keystone?
Well, actually, you know what? I do know a few of them.
She's coming through. She's the other day. I
Running the
said
industry.
I said she was asking about something, and I said, "Oh, well, why don't you talk to him about a renovation loan and put something together for the home improvement show for that?" She was like, "Oh, the 203K," and I was like,
Wow.
"You're
Right?
getting
Yeah.
it."
Well, that's because I have my eye on that one. I think it's a fantastic loan. That one, you can actually purchase your home and finance in all of your renovations at once. So the home improvement show in the spring, people are always looking for ideas
Yep.
when they're going to go buy their new home, or they've just purchased one and they want to do all these new things with it.
Yeah.
Well, gosh, why not do the 203K,
We were that people 3 years ago. Carrie and I.
right?
I didn't hear about that.
Well, you didn't come to
I
Keystone
know.
Mortgage right away.
I know.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you bought,
My
say,
bad.
$150,000 house, but it needs $20,000 worth of upgrades, we can basically finance that whole $170,000 for you. And just wrap it
Education.
all up and get it all get it all remodeled for you from the right beginning.
Wow, we learned a lot, and you guys have been talking for a little over 20 minutes. It's been quite an education and some fun, hopefully.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
We look forward to coming on again.
Oh, you will. Angel, Vira, and Laura Shaka.
Isn't her name awesome?
I know. Well,
Although-
the spelling's weird, but she told
My-
me at City Brew how to pronounce it.
My
Yeah.
truck, I asked her husband too when I first met him how to pronounce it because I didn't want to butcher it, but my truck...
Skiyaka?
Skyaka.
Skyaka. That's what my truck says because my truck has the virtual voice thing, whatever, and it'll say,
Skyaka.
"You have an incoming call from Laura Skyaka." She actually heard it once and she
Shaka.
started laughing.
That is funny, though.
Figure 12, almost 13 years later, I'm still not spelling it right. I can't expect anybody to
Right.
pronounce it right. You know?
Well, here's the other thing too: is she always knows when somebody doesn't know her when they're calling.
Yep.
Right?
That's the good.
She
that's
could
a
be
good
like,
thing.
"Nope, nope,
Yeah.
no Skyaka here."
Yeah.
No, yeah, you got the. There's no. Yeah, that's
Well, I
the wrong
told you I
number.
got Sikaka once.
Sikaka.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I had to ask. It's Shaka.
Yep, Shaka.
People have a weird thing about my last name too, Viren. It's
I said Viren at first.
yeah,
a
well,
couple months ago.
It's
Angel
just like
Viren.
siren, but with a V.
Siren Viren, yeah.
Yeah. So
Mine, Livin Large Larry, the only thing they have a mistake with is when they log on, some put the G on Livin.
ah,
Got to buy that domain.
I know.
Link it all
I
You
know,
should
together.
it is-
just buy that one domain too, and then just
yeah. Instead of me saying,
you can have it mask over. It's pretty easy.
I need to do that, livinlargelarry.com, and I say, there's no G on Livin, which is like, so I should buy the domain.
You should.
You should just buy it, mask it over to your living, and they won't even know the difference.
Well, Redline Computers, that's what they'll do for me. That's
Yeah.
why I do my show from their studios.
I gotta bring some stuff into Redline.
Yeah, please
Right.
do. Yeah,
I'm
we
going
got the, Mike and Don Hines, owner, and then the two techs that they have on staff, Dustin
I'm excited.
and Anthony. They'll
And you
you'll
told
do
me
good
that they're
too.
really good,
Yeah,
and
they're local. They're locally
local.
owned,
I
and-
love local.
And they're skilled. So please do bring your computer gear in here.
Reasonable.
Drop my name, and there's no G
I
on
will.
Livin. Angel, Vira, Laura Shaka. Thanks, you guys. This has been fun. We'll get together again. Thank you. A recorded talk we had with Keystone Mortgage about a week and a half ago. Replay for you from Keystone Mortgage, their new location in downtown Billings, across from the pub station. LivinLargeLarry.com.
Livin' Large Larry live from the Redline Computer Studios next to the Dollar Tree off of King Avenue West in Billings, Montana. This is Livin' Large Larry live.
A bit breezy this morning. And all kinds of blinds in Billings, all kinds of blinds. MT.com. Temperature check 44. It'll be around 60 today. Have a complete forecast for you coming up. What is going on? There's a wedding fair, one of the big ones at the Billings Depot, downtown Billings this Sunday, and I will be there showing off my DJ gear for you. Yeah, I do wedding receptions and parties, so I'll be there at the Depot on Sunday, this coming Sunday, 11 to 3, downtown Billings. The What's Going On Around Town segment is underwritten by Bighorn Inspection, Petrochemical and Refinery Inspection. That's Bighorn Inspection, bighorninspection.com. The Health Challenge is coming up. The March Madness Health Challenge from Central Wellness begins March 1st, goes through the 31st of March, and you can join in for a month-long weight loss challenge to improve your health. Have a chance at over $2,500 in grand prizes through Central Wellness. You'll need to sign up. Log on to centralwellness.com. The Health Challenge begins on March 1st. Jobs Jamboree, over 140 employers. This is the biggest jobs fair in Montana. It is every year. This is the 25th annual event happening March 9th at Metro Parks Pavilion from 11:30 to 6. Veterans, Guard, Reserve. The doors will be opened up a half hour before that, so 11 o'clock. Jobs Jamboree, March 9th at Pavilion. Over 140 employers. Spring Fling with the Midlife Chryslers for Relay for Life. That annual fundraiser is coming up. It's been moved from the Shrine to the Pavilion, however, and the date is March 11th for the Spring Fling for Relay for Life and the American Cancer Society. That's at Montana Pavilion, March 11th, 7 p.m. Tickets are $25. If you want a table with all your friends, that'll cost you $500. Photos will be available through Miranda Murdoch Photography on that night, with a photo booth supplied by Billings Studio Theater. For the American Cancer Society, you can call for more information about the Spring Fling coming up in March, 256-7156. And be listening for more details about the next fundraiser for Brooklyn Mayor, hashtag Brooklyn Strong, fighting cancer. The kid's 4 years old. She's fighting Wilms tumor. The next fundraiser, the next big one for Brooklyn, is coming up at Hooligans, downtown Billings, in March. Hashtag Brooklyn Strong. And that is a look as to what's going on around Billings and surrounding towns. From Bighorn Inspection, bighorninspection.com.
Win central air conditioning from White's, cleaning from Bryce's Master Clean, a Kimco security system, or a Procrete garage floor overlay. It's where you want to be, and it's free. So, where to?
I stopped by Metro Park and the Home Improvement Show setup this week. I was there yesterday. Boy, it sure looks empty. But come Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of this week, the Spring Home Improvement Show, over 600 booths.
Livin' Large Larry live from the Redline Computer Studios next to the Dollar Tree off of King Avenue West in Billings, Montana. This is Livin' Large Larry live.
It being midweek, I jumped ahead to the weekend, and I'll share that good news with you in a second. Our Billings area forecast at livinlargelarry.com, courtesy of Jade Furman of Landmark Realtors at 1925 Grand Avenue, Montana, property.com. Jade is a trustworthy agent who's always put their clients' needs and interests first. She has a long-time reputation for ethical business practices and attention to detail. So about 58 today and a few clouds. And nice day, though. Thursday as well, partly sunny near 61. Friday, 60 and sunny. Then the weekend, I bragged about getting close to that 70 mark, at least the mid-60s possibly for Saturday and Sunday. The Billings area forecast at livinlargelarry.com. From Broughton Construction and Home Repair, the Broughton family offering 30 years of experience in concrete and all facets of remodeling and roofing and siding. They're trustworthy and knowledgeable. 30 years experience. Count on it. Broughton Construction and Home Repair, BRAATON. All kinds of blinds and Billings. All kinds of blinds, MT.com. Temperature check in 44. Bit breezy this morning. You most likely do not have time to go through the over 50 new laws for taxes for the 2016 tax season. But Lisa Woods at Woods Accounting certainly does. That's what she does. Woods Accounting on Grand, 1211 Grand Avenue, Suite number 4. How does Obamacare fit into your taxes? What does that mean for you on your taxes? Lisa Woods can answer that question for business taxes, for personal taxes, and also payroll services and more. Woods Accounting, woodsaccounting.com. The latest Billings Morning News on the way, livinlargelarry.com. Be sure to ask about the spring specials at your full-service salon and spa. That is Quick Spa in Billings at 2348 Grand Avenue. If you're looking for a massage, Carrie does that up right for you. Deep tissue, hot stone, body wraps, the latest in fingernail arts and pedicures. Jamie Sue and Christina KK does it all. Hair cutting as well. Colon hydrotherapy, spray tans, permanent makeup, full service salon and spa. It's Quick Spa in Billings. quick-spa.com.
Join us at 1-888-858-1408.
After the Billings Morning News, livinlargelarry.com, I talk with Bobby Gray from All Kinds of Blinds and Billings on the show. And we're on YouTube this morning, all accessed through livinlargelarry.com. livinlargelarry.com and the Billings Morning News and more from ktvq.com, color8.com. We also gather news story sources from the Billings Gazette. The head of the state agency overseeing the investigation of child abuse and neglect in Montana is resigning and plans to start a private law practice in Helena. Sarah Corbally announced on Monday she's stepping down in April from her job as administrator of the State Child and Family Services Division, which has faced criticism lately over its handling of child abuse cases around Montana. Corbally joined the division back in 2010 after working as an assistant attorney general under then Attorney General Steve Bullock in the Justice Department's Child Protection Unit. Corbally began as a program bureau chief in the Child and Family Services Division and became its top administrator back in 2011. One woman is dead following a rollover accident south of Miles City on Montana Highway 59. Montana Highway Patrol received the call shortly after 3 p.m. on Tuesday. According to MHP Trooper Brandon Kelm, a northbound vehicle occupied by 4 adults and 4 children left the road and rolled. At least one person was ejected. Multiple people were help flighted from the accident. The woman was pronounced dead at the scene. The conditions of the other occupants are unknown at this time as that investigation continues. And the Yellowstone County coroner releases the name of the man who died in a rollover on Saturday as 55-year-old Yancey Darnell of Billings. The Montana Highway Patrol said he was not wearing his seatbelts. And that is the latest from the Billings Morning News and more at livinlargelarry.com. It's going to be a nice day today. All kinds of blinds and Billings, all kinds of blinds and Billings, all kinds of blinds MT.com. Temperature check 4460 today. What is next for N2 Cryotherapy? Cryotherapy has been brought to Billings by Cindy Graff and her staff at N2 Cryotherapy, 805 24th Street West, suite number 4. And it's in Billings since last July. She just got off the Mate Show. Had a great response. Check out N2 Cryotherapy and what it's all about. If you want a description of what cryotherapy does for your wellness as a wellness therapy, log on to n2cryo.com. She's targeting athletes from high school to the pro ranks. N2 Cryotherapy. 3-minute session for better wellness. N2 Cryotherapy, 805 24th Street West, number 4, and n2cryo.com. We are broadcasting from the Redline Computer Studios. The Redline Computer Studios, West Billings, Montana, for our worldwide internet radio show. livinlargelarry.com or on YouTube, and also the mobile smartphone TuneIn app, and that's a free download. And for the second time in the last 3 or 4 weeks, Bobby Gray from All Kinds of Blinds and Billings joins us. Morning, sir.
Morning.
Are you up? Bright, entertaining?
Yeah, right. Well, I'm awake.
All right, All Kinds of Blinds, and as we're prepping the show and this visits, this is the time of year, however, it's been this time of year since mid-January that a lot of people are remodeling. And I've been saying on my show for the last couple of weeks that I think that windows are one of the first things people see. But there's so many different designs and styles and models of blinds. What is the most common blind that All Kinds of Blinds brings out or puts forth to the public?
Right now is probably the cellular honeycomb shade.
What is a cellular blind?
Well, it's a pleated shade like they used to have, but it's been put together. So if you look at it from the edge, you would have these hollow, looks like a honeycomb from a beehive, and they it makes it where you can have virtually any color you can imagine on the inside of the house, and then the back side of the fabric is white. So it
are they a metal or a vinyl these days?
They're just a fabric. I think they're mixtures of polyester and cotton, and you can get them with a lining inside that is like a mylar. So if you wanted full-on blackout, so that you can control when your children wake up instead of the sun, or if you work nights, you can black out the room. You also can do features with them, like a top-down, bottom-up is very popular, where you can lower the top of the blind down as much as same as the bottom coming up, So if you wanted privacy, you're in a neighborhood, you can lower the top of the blind down to a point where you can still sit at your dining room table or watch your TV or read a book and have the top part of the window open, letting light in.
I've seen
but
those,
still
yeah.
have privacy, and they're very reasonably priced, easy to repair. I now have, and you can also do cordless with them, which is a great safety feature for children and pets, and then also it gives a nice clean look when you go cordless, and you can't do that with every product. So you have a lot of features you can do with that blind. So you can spruce it up with color, and they're very high efficiency. They're one of the most efficient energy-wise blinds that exist. So on a 1 to 10 scale, if 10 was ideal, perfect, these are probably an 8, where a vertical blind might be a 2 or a 3.
You know, the challenge I have with blinds over the years is the cleaning of blinds. What is the most economical way to clean a blind? I mean, all blinds are going to get dirty and because of the weather and all that.
If you can come back to the honeycomb blind, the air's not passing through it, and the dust is in the air. The face of it is kind of at angle, so it doesn't get dirty very fast. It's very slow. Where a faux blind, wood blind, mini blind, I mean, within one day you could go up and look and see dust on it. Where these go a very long time, and then all you do is just use a vacuum brush and vacuum them off. And we've also, when it go back to the repairs, I've got honeycomb shades now that I'm carrying that will go 7 years from the factory. If the cords break, they just send a new blind. They don't even bother repairing them. And so that's a great feature. That's the only thing that ever goes wrong with them is something with the cords.
And I think that's what people have to understand and be concerned about is when you purchase a blind from some of the big box stores, if you will, you get what you get. You don't throw a fit. But if you shop local and go through like all kinds of blinds, you get great service after the sale as well.
Right. We just built a new home and put appliances in, and then started having problems, and we bought them from a big box store. And they give you an 800 number, and each time I've called the number, I've talked to a different country. I've talked to the Philippines, India, and they just pass the buck and tell you to call somebody else, and I've not been able to get anything fixed. 30 days old washing machine, and I'm like stuck. So buying local, you get an edge where you can save money going to the box store, but if you don't know what you're buying for sure, then you can get stung.
I look at the big picture. We talked about this last time. Is if you go to the big box store and save a bunch of money today, what about a year and a half from now? I look at the big global picture, how long it's going to last me, and what it's going to be like in a year and a half to 2 years. But how outstretched and how far out does all kinds of blinds in Billings go to consult and service and sell blinds?
I don't know if you're going. I go as far as Miles City.
Okay.
I've gone as I just did a taco treats restaurant in Helena, and they're remodeling another one in Missoula, and I've agreed to go there. Go to Red Lodge pretty often.
If the money fits, you'll go.
Yeah, I mean,
Pretty much.
you know, I would love to have somebody who's building a hotel in the Virgin Islands and sign me up and
Well, that'd be nice.
bring my dive gear. But
Well, what a tough life that would be, Bobby Gray.
if we've got a long distance to go, I've got to add in fuel. But there's no big surcharge. I don't mind. It's a beautiful state. I don't mind taking a drive.
Well, the website for information, allkindsofblindsmt.com, is really simple, rolls off your tongue. Give us a phone number as well for person-to-person, phone-to-phone contact with you guys.
If you call 839-8055, I try to answer it. I'm up on ladders a lot. I don't always answer it immediately, but I'll call you back and set up an appointment and bring the samples into your home. And there's no pressure, no obligation. I bring 30 years worth of experience, so because not everybody's trying to deal with the same thing in a window. Some people just want to spruce it up and make it look pretty. Some people are trying to see their television screen or their computer monitor, and they want to deal with glare, or you want your children to sleep, or energy. There's different reasons, and there's different shape windows, and some products don't work. So if you were to go online and buy them, and then you go to put them in, you might find that, oh shoot, I didn't realize the alarm system blocks the window and
important.
it can't go in, and I'm going to give you advice about that and let you hold the colors up to your paint or your flooring and match it up. And I've worked with a lot of designers, so I'm not a decorator or designer,
Sure.
but I can put some colors together and help you out with that too.
When you're up doing jobs up near the Ironwood area of Billings, it's kind of high end.
Yeah.
Do people automatically go for the most expensive blinds, or is there a need to do that up in Ironwood?
No, it's a mixture.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. You can go in, and I've done big houses in Ironwood, and they just wanted 2.5-inch faux
Mm-hmm.
blinds, and then you go over to Copper Ridge or Trails West, and they want a custom stained plantation shutter. So it doesn't seem to directly. It's not like the person in the Ironwood house wants to flaunt their money. Some people
Sure.
are there because they are frugal and tight with their money.
You know,
Smart.
at my real job, KGHL Radio in the afternoons, I may be old-fashioned, but we have in our studio, they're probably about 1.5 inch wide wooden louver type blinds. And yes, they get dusty, but I like the look of those.
Yeah, they've. I still sell. They're probably my second highest volume product because they're. I've got it's typically been a 2-inch louver on a faux blind or a wood blind, and one of the factories that I buy from is now offering the same blind in a 2.5-inch louver, which gives a little bit more of a plantation shutter look for the same price as the 2-inch. It used to be an upgrade, and it also, instead of having all the little holes in the louvers for the strings to go through, they've made it where the strings go on the outside of the louver, so you don't have all those little tiny holes that when it's closed allow light in. And they also
I never noticed that, but yeah.
well, I'm sorry, now you're going to notice it. And
Interesting.
it's
I'm
gonna
going to work
bother
today.
you,
I'll
but-
figure it out.
Yes, and it also is easier to clean because you don't have the strings in the way when you're
Sure.
trying to wipe them down. So when you have larger louvers, that means you have less louvers to cover the same square footage. So you can get more light in when you want to, and then there's also less slats, less louvers, so they're going to allow less light in when you close them. So it's very reasonable. It's one of the least expensive products, and you've got to be careful with faux blinds. I used to manufacture them. When you buy the louver material, you can order the density from the mill. So if you wanted to save money, say a box store, you have the louver material is more porous, kind of like styrofoam, where you have,
Right.
and then they're going to sag pretty quick, and you see them all kind of sagging in the window, and it's because it's a lower grade louver material. A company like a box store, and I hate to bash them, I shop in them.
Everybody does, it seems like.
I walk into Lowe's and they say, "Hi, Bobby, how are your kids?" So I'm there all the time. But if you have a more dense fabric louver material, it's less likely to sag. It's going to last longer. It doesn't break as easy, and it might save $1 a blind. But for a local guy, $1 a blind per year is
Sure.
an insignificant
Mhm.
number. Where $1 a blind for a big store selling 1 million blinds a day in the nation, it's $1 million. So, but your average consumer wouldn't know that.
Yeah, we don't know that. I think I'm pretty average. All kinds of blinds and Billings, all kinds of blinds, MT.com. Bobby Gray with us. Do you find this is a time of year, again, winter in Billings this year is not typical, but is March and spring cleaning the time of year that you get the busiest, or is there a certain other time?
But the busiest time for me is right after the spring show at the Metro.
Okay.
Coming up in a couple
Friday,
days.
Saturday, Sunday. You'll be there.
That always kicks it off. I think a lot of people are finally recovering from the Christmas Christmas, holidays, all of that, and then they get into getting back into their jobs, get ready to finish out the rest of winter, and then as spring comes, they're excited to start working in their yards and fixing their house up, and it just seems to trigger at that point. Also, like right now, my main supplier is offering an extra 10% discount to me through the end of March.
Like a home improvement show special? That you'll
yes, it kicks off spring. And you've got to, I mean, when I say 10% these days, that might not sound like much, but a lot of companies in every industry will offer these 80-90% discounts, and you've got to realize that the number you start with is the number that matters.
Right.
So if they're starting with a price that is 1,000% markup, what's 80% off?
Yeah, where's the deal there?
Yeah, so you've got to be smart about the end price.
So we'll see Bobby Gray, all kinds of blinds out at the Home Improvement Show, Metro Park, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's a true sign of spring, the Spring Home Improvement Show. It is the biggest in the region. 33 years of that show, and it must be working well for all kinds of blinds. You've been there year after year.
Yeah, I've done trade shows, like I said, for almost 30 years. I've been in business doing blinds, and I've done them, and I've never really seen it's never really been worth it. And then, matter of fact, I think it might have been Mike of Redline Computers had told me years ago when I started up here that I should do the trade show, and no. And I went and did it, and it's an event that I think everybody should go check it out, because there's virtually everybody who's anybody in Billings sets up a booth, so you can get a good feel.
It's over 600 booths, 135,000 square feet indoor and outdoor at Metro Park's campus. So it's, like I said, one of the biggest in the region. Bobby Gray with all kinds of blinds. And over the years, you and your wife have many travels. And every time you come in for a talk with me on my show, I'm going to ask you for a story about some of your adventures.
Oh no, it's there's a lot of them.
Do you have one on mind today?
I've got one in mind. We spent almost 8 years at sea with my wife and children. We sailed around the world all the way. Over 100 countries, and it was full time. We weren't flying home every summer or something.
Sure.
My kids were raised on a sailboat, so we've got a whole lot of interesting events, from sheer terror to feeling pretty stupid. But I guess a short story would be we had just finished crossing the Indian Ocean. We'd come from Sri Lanka to Maldives, and then we went into Salalah, Oman. The Iraq War had just started, and when we left Oman to go through the Gulf of Aden over to the Red Sea to go up to Europe, there's a lot of piracy between Somalia and Yemen, and one of our friends who had left about 5 days ahead of us, their boat was all shot up, and they were robbed by the Somali pirates. Luckily, they weren't kidnapped like a lot are. There's somewhere between 2 and 3 boats or ships a week taken in that area. Every now and then, it seems like the press or a president or whatever decides to make a deal out of one. But it's happening 2 or 3 times a week all year round for decades.
Isn't that scary in itself, knowing that is going on and you're out there sailing?
Yeah, and the Iraq War just started. There's a lot of...
Well, you knew that as well when you're out at sea.
Yeah, we had a choice when we hit Africa to either go south or north, and there's a lot of problems in South Africa too. It's a different kind of thing. It's more high crime, leftover post-apartheid, and they're still trying to get their act together. So it's scary to go that way.
So how old were the kids during this adventure? Well, were they with you at that time?
Yeah, they were always with us.
Like little kids? Were they little?
They were 11 and 12.
Well, great culture for them.
Yeah, when we left Florida to go through the Bahamas and the Caribbean, they were 11 and 12. By this point, I guess they were probably 16, 17. So they were doing night watches. What we did was we plotted out the last 10 years worth of piracy attacks that we could find out about and plotted them on the chart, and they were all in a corridor between Somalia and Yemen. They were smugglers. These guys aren't just sitting out there with a knife in their teeth waiting for somebody to go. You jump on board and
typical
and
pirates.
pillage. You know, they're smuggling people and guns and drugs between Africa and Asia, between Somalia and Yemen, and they're armed to the teeth. RPGs, and they have all of it left over from war. And so when we went through that area, we tried to go through. You sail about 5 days to get to an imaginary waypoint, and then you lights out, and try and go through that area at night. It's about 90 miles, which I can't make on a sailboat, 90 miles in one night.
It's a long time.
But right as the sun was going down, a speedboat comes out of over the horizon, and we started being chased. And luckily there was about a 6-foot swell, big swell kind of rolling through, and a speedboat has to get up on a plane.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get up on a plane and go against the swells. So our sailboat, we turned into it. We're only going about 2 or 3 knots. It was a slow motion race. Sure. But we're going 2 or 3 knots. He can only go about 1 because he can't get up on a plane.
Right.
And eventually they gave up.
Amen for that swell.
Yes. Jeez. And then we made it through the night. I told my family, anytime you see a target on the radar, to just alter course and about 20 degrees and don't let them see us. We had our sails down and lights out. And when we come out the other side and we're the next day and we're feeling pretty good, we'll be seeing Africa later in the day. Then I get a target on my radar and another target, and then I've got 30 or 40 targets, and I'm thinking, oh no, we've run into a fishing fleet. And they're armed to the teeth. I mean, Somalia thinks it's their fish, and Yemen thinks it's their fish, and
what are you doing here?
Djibouti thinks it's their fish, and so I wasn't sure what to do. And then at the same time, I heard on the radio an American's voice, so I got on excited, to hear an American, to talk to an American. It's been a long time, and so that's when I got on the radio and discovered it was the U.S. fleet coming at us out of the Red Sea. Early on in the Iraq War, they had been launching, I guess, over Saudi Arabia and had an airspace problem. So
well, they're all at war, and you're out for a pleasure sail.
Yes,
essentially.
We're just trying to get through. But we ended up with 50 ships coming at us, and they went every which way around us. And they put a helicopter up over us with a gun on us. They didn't know for sure who we were. We just jumped around on the deck, laughing, crying, happy, with an American flag waving, and it was a pretty amazing thing to have a U.S. destroyer go.
So with all
right
this
by.
excitement, you've explained the last 5 or 6 minutes. Your kids being 11 and 12, what was their attitude? Were they scared? Were they crying? Were they?
No.
Wow.
My kids they're not like that. No, they know Dad's a little bit crazy and pushes the envelope, but at the same time they trust me. That I'm not going to let. I've got good instinct.
Sure.
When I pull into a harbor to anchor and it doesn't feel right, I leave, even though I'm very anxious to put the anchor down and sleep, because we've been getting beat up in a storm or something, and they'll go, "Oh no, Dad," and I go, "Nope, it's not right," and we'll move. And I believe that God gives you instinct that you can't really explain.
True gift.
And you feel that maybe you shouldn't get out of your car in that parking lot. Don't, just.
I got knots in my stomach listening to your story, but and that was years ago. I understand that, but are there any adventures being planned with the Bobby Gray family for the near future?
A little bit simpler now. We like to go down to Central America for diving, and that's mostly it. I like my motorcycle, and I'm really happy to just be here in Montana and go hiking and hunting in season.
But when you get older and grayer, if you will, you're going to have some great stories for grandkids and great grandkids.
Yeah, and my wife did write a book. She's published.
What is it called?
It's called Caught by the Lure of the Sea.
Okay.
Which is a part of a Jimmy Buffett song, but Caught by the Lure of the Sea. And it's the first year afloat, all of the dangers and stupid things that I did as a captain.
I would love to have a copy of that.
Oh, we can get you one.
I would love to have a copy of that and read it. Interesting.
It's interesting. She kind of looks at me through rose-colored glasses, so she made me kind of look good, but I did a lot of dumb things the first year afloat that anybody who's been at sea for a while would...
Are those dumb things published in the book?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there's definitely some dumb things as you're prepping for a storm to blow through the anchorage and you're trying to prepare the boat, and the things you've read in the books you bought at the bookstore on how to sail become silly things. I think there's a lot of people who have written books and describe themselves as experts who haven't really done more than sail from Fort Lauderdale to the Bahamas, which is like 90 miles. And
it's quite different when you're sailing through the Iraqi War. Good Lord.
40,000 miles around the globe's a good way to learn. You fix your boat in exotic locations instead of sitting at the dock.
Jeez, what an adventure, I tell you. And I expect stories like this every time you come in.
Every time.
And that looks like, a couple times a month. So start taking notes. But that's one reason I bring you in here. So when you hire Bobby Gray, All Kinds of Blinds, and he feels comfortable, you may be getting some of these stories in short version at your home or your business during its installation of blinds, too.
Yeah, I can bore you a long time. I mean, 8 years at sea in 100 countries is... well, I don't know. I did it a long time. It was just my life.
Yeah.
My dad was always wanting more pictures and more stories, and I'm like, Dad, this is just our life. It isn't a vacation.
It's day to day.
It's just what we do all the time.
Right.
You don't walk around with a camera and video yourself every day.
True.
And we stopped doing that.
Yeah.
We just started going, well, it's been a few countries, and maybe we should take some pictures in the next one,
Interesting. Good stuff. Bobby Gray, All Kinds of Blinds. All Kinds of BlindsMT.com. Well, since I have you, All Kinds of Blinds temperature check, 43, breezy, 60 today. Thank you, Bobby Gray. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
LivinLargeLarry.com. We're on YouTube this morning.
I looked down at my hands and was like, wow, I'm performing CPR on this guy. And then I actually finally met him. That was probably one of the coolest parts of my life, being able to talk to a guy after I gave him CPR.
Reed was just 17 when he heard a cry for help. Thanks to his Red Cross training, he didn't freeze, he didn't panic, he knew exactly what to do. Red Cross training saves lives. Sign up for a class today at redcross.org.
No matter what the style, no matter what the cut, Jim and Austin's Barbershop, 2225 Main in the Heights, can take care of it for you. $10 haircuts, 10 minutes, $10 haircuts, and you'll be pleased, guaranteed as well. If you want more services, straight razor cuts, Jim and Austin's Barbershop. They're sponsors of this year's Billings Wolves. Jim and Austin's Barbershop, 2225 Main in Billings Heights.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her.
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge.
Got to get this all straightened out. Give a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve! Is now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend.
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Over 60 years now in Billings, Montana, it's Brown's Automotive, and 4 locations strong on tires and alignments, complete auto repairs, tune-ups, transmission specialist. Brown's Auto at Broadwater, Brown's West Auto Service, Rosebud and 20th, and then 2 Brown's Locations downtown, Automatic Transmission Company. At 13th
The
Street,
smallest
North
moments can
Avenue
have the
North,
biggest impact on a
and
child's
Brown
life.
Dad? Son, come home with me. Visit the secret panda village? Sleep like a panda. Eat like a panda. I knew I wasn't eating up to my potential.
It's not always being a dad, but it's always worth it.
Let me teach you how to belly golf.
Awesome! Take time to be a dad today.
Thanks, Dad.
Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov to learn more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Livin' Large Larry Live.
Best blinds in town, all kinds of blinds in Billings, all kinds of blinds, mt.com. They've remodeled Starbucks window treatments in the Heights and Grand Avenue. All kinds of blinds have worked on the Chipotle remodel. Also Godfather's Pizza and both Taco Treats in Billings and more. All kinds of blinds in Billings and security window film as well available. Check out the Woven Woods. Maybe you want more vertical blinds remodeled in your home. The windows are the first thing you see and the first thing visitors see to your home. All kinds of blinds in Billings, all kinds of blindsmt.com. It being midweek, I jumped ahead to the weekend, and I'll share that good news with you in a second. Our Billings area forecast at livinlargelarry.com, courtesy of Jade Furman of Landmark Realtors at 1925 Grand Avenue, Montana, property.com. Jade is a trustworthy agent who's always put their clients' needs and interests first. She has a long-time reputation for ethical business practices and attention to detail. So about 58 today and a few clouds. And nice day, though. Thursday as well, partly sunny near 61. Friday, 60 and sunny. Then the weekend I bragged about getting close to that 70 mark, at least the mid-60s possibly for Saturday and Sunday. The Billings area forecast at livinlargelarry.com. From Broughton Construction and Home Repair. The Broughton family offering 30 years of experience in concrete and all facets of remodeling and roofing and siding. They're trustworthy and knowledgeable. 30 years experience. Count on it. Broughton Construction and Home Repair. BRAATON.
Livin' Large Larry Live.
If you get a chance, check me out weekdays at AM 790, the mighty 790 KGHL radio in Billings, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. It's not a talk show, but it's a classic country radio show. I love it. Meantime, from the Redline Computer Studios, West Billings, this is Livin' Large Larry Live at livinlargelarry.com. And all kinds of blinds in Billings. Temp check 43 near 60 today. A bit breezy this morning. The Billings Morning News and more at livinlargelarry.com. We gather our news story sources utilizing KTVQ.com, Color8.com, and the Billings Gazette. And the trial for a former Billings attorney accused of killing his wife nearly 2 decades ago got underway Tuesday in Hardin with jury selection. Brian Laird's deliberate homicide case is being tried in Bighorn County District Court by Assistant Attorney Generals Ole Olson and Chad Parker. Jury selection is expected to last a couple of days. Laird is 46. He's accused of strangling and drowning his wife, Catherine, back in 1999. After a heated argument, her body was discovered in the Bighorn River. The investigation went cold, but was reopened in 2012 when new evidence came forward that challenged Laird's statements of the events. Laird was arrested in 2014 in Colorado and was extradited to Montana to face the deliberate homicide charge. A man accused of assault in Missoula and the fatal stabbing of a Miles City man has pleaded not guilty. Report says that Scott Price is accused of killing Ed Martin of Miles City and assaulting Martin's wife Helen before leaving her tied up in the couple's basement. He has pleaded not guilty to stabbing 2 women in Missoula as well, including the December 12 homicide of Lonette Keener. The administrator of the Division of Child and Family Services has announced she is leaving the agency to return to practicing law. Sarah Corbally told the Flathead Beacon newspaper yesterday that she is stepping down in April. The division has been under fire by some families and mental health counselors over complaints that it was not doing enough to protect children. And a Hardin man has pleaded no contest to obstructing justice in the death of his 6-year-old daughter, who was beaten by his girlfriend. The report says that Clint Vance Hogan entered the plea in the March 2015 death of Kiamora Hogan. His girlfriend, Kirsten Oldbull, has been sentenced to 20 years in prison after pleading guilty to criminal endangerment and obstructing justice. And Montana Tech has announced that men's basketball coach Patrick O'Haron will not have his contract renewed for next season. The report says the assistant coach, Chris Klein, has also been terminated. The team finished its 2015-2016 season with an 8-22 record and lost 9 of its last 11 games. And that's the latest Billings Morning News and more at livinlargelarry.com. Have a good one, and I will see you around town. livinlargelarry.com from the Red Line Computer Studios across from Goodwill in West Billings, Montana.